to It's a Conspiracy!
Yay! I don't know why you're cheering. I don't understand. What we're about to talk about is awful.
So I just want to point out, I was looking through some Facebook memories and discovered that this is the 10th time we have gathered you all here to tell you the truth. So pretty amazing that it's been that long. We are all aging forward, or at least that's what they want you to think.
I mean, definitely Tim is, but...
I mean, linear time is one of the biggest lies they sell us, if you ask me.
Molly, didn't we talk earlier about the whole clapping being a conspiracy thing? And I mean, these folks were just doing the applause, which then I don't think they realized the harmful waves.
Wake up, sheeple.
But it's really aura disruptive to hit yourself, which is, I mean, that's what clapping is. It's self-harm,
Stop
basically.
hitting yourself.
I mean, it also is an energy source for a lot of the extra-dimensional beings.
Yeah.
Such as, and I quote the great extra-dimensional being, Lady Gaga, who says, "I live for the applause, applause, applause.
Yes.
I live for the applause, live for the applause."
It's like the most honest song that's ever been written.
Well, and the biggest, I mean, Tinkerbell too, right? We have all these extra-dimensional creatures that feed off your applause because when you clap, you move the nanites in the air in their direction due to their magnetic pull because of their extra-dimensionality. It's not hard.
I mean, it's pretty cool.
It's so clear. Anybody could see it.
I think we need to come up with an alternate option for applause for this panel. Something that's a little bit less concussive.
Less concussive. Well, we could. I mean, there is the sign language applause, but I don't want to co-opt anybody.
Yeah, and that moves the air.
It does move.
You don't want to jiggle like Jan.
What if everyone just sort of went? What if everyone just sort of went like?
Have you been to many of these panels? That's pretty much what they do.
Let's just see how it disrupts the aura.
We just want to hear if everyone could just do our new type of applause, all of you together.
Oh my God, that's perfect.
Oh, this is good. This is good.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
All right, so just for the rest of the panel, instead of applause, if we could do the new applause, we would really appreciate
pick whichever
that.
tone you want. You don't have to go high or low.
Yeah.
This blocks the all-seeing eye.
It does.
Nick, there was something else, because this is all dressed up.
Yes.
We are focusing on fashioning our own reality. Nick really, he sourced this for all of you because he thought this would be something that would be very helpful. And he's bringing it down.
Oh yeah?
He wants you to be able, everyone here can make their own tinfoil hat. All you have to do is just come up. I will warn you, the foil is very thin because big aluminum has really been just fucking us lately, but
They're
it's really more like you're probably
sheets.
going to need more than one sheet, but if you wish to come up at any time, you're not going to disturb us, don't worry, come on up, take a foil sheet.
We won't make fun of you if you do it.
I just made myself a tinfoil.
Jeremy, we won't. All right.
So if you want to protect yourself, if you want to accessorize, if you want to make a tinfoil badge ribbon, go ahead and try to figure that out.
Oh, that's a good idea.
They are there. We are not taking them home.
There's 200.
You can recycle them.
There's 200 pre-cut sheets of aluminum foil there, so we will not run out. You are encouraged to take them.
Yeah, take whatever you need.
Is this a flash mob?
Yeah, this is a flash mob actually, and you know what? They're very dangerous. A flash mob. One of the things they don't want to tell you about flash mobs is that when people gather together to do choreography dances, it makes other people feel like really awkward in their body, and maybe they don't know how to dance, and maybe their name is Molly. And so, I just think that we don't really think about the trauma we're causing when we're doing dances in front of people who don't like or know how to
Well,
dance.
also, Molly, don't you think too that part of what makes people feel uncomfortable around you in flash mobs is that you tend to flash people?
That's true.
Boy, when I misunderstood flash mob the first time.
Yeah, I absolutely, well, and the thing is, what they don't, the thing with words is, all words are made up, right? And literally all words are made up. And so the only meaning they have is that which we assign to them. So I assign the meaning show my tits when I hear flash, and you can't tell me I'm wrong.
Can I also say, one of the other concerns I have about flash mobs is, how do they all know to do the same thing at the same time? Who told them?
Groupthink.
Who told them?
It's telepathic groupthink.
That's what I mean?
Yeah.
I get some photos too because I'm realizing I'm very, very free.
So, Oh, I feel just so much more protected right now. My lobes are soothed. And that's really what you want. You want soothed lobes. A lot of the advertising out there in the world that we're all bombarded and subjected to have the goal of disrupting your lobes. And you don't want to harsh your lobes, you want mellow lobes, you want soothed lobes, and tinfoil can help keep your lobes soothed.
What are you saying, loads? Because I think this is like an 18+ panel now.
Lobas.
No, we don't want this to be an 18
Very
plus.
different than I thought.
I do want to.
We don't want this to be an 18 plus panel because we want the kids to know early.
It's important to
Yeah.
teach your kids the truth. I do want to point out something. So both Tim and Jeremy, you're the one over here.
Yep, that's
both
me.
Tim and Jeremy, you are doing more gig work lately, and you both told me you saw something really dark and seedy in the underbelly of the gig economy.
It's true.
And it's funny because you came at it from very different points of view. In fact, I almost feel like you guys were conflicting on what you thought. So Tim, why don't you tell me what
I
you
get to
saw?
start. I get to start.
You
do I?
start, on the underbelly, the seedy underbelly of the gig economy. What did you find this
The
year?
seedy underbelly
To tell
of the
them.
economy. All right. So for those of you who do gigging work like I do, you know there's often a rider that you fill out with the venue with things that you would like them to provide. And the really interesting thing, the thing that was interesting is they have started to follow our riders to the letter.
Oh.
Except for one thing.
The M&Ms?
And no, the M&Ms are right. It was, there's toast.
Like they're giving you toast?
They're
and you
giving
didn't
us
ask for it?
toast that we didn't ask for with jam. They're giving us toast with jam.
Wheat, white, sourdough, anything like specific? Does it have a pattern?
Like every kind of, there's literally a room filled with every kind of bread you could want. And jam.
Interesting.
Now, do they do that thing where Big Jam is trying to do the illusion of choice and make you think you have free will by giving you different flavored jam options when actually all jams are the same flavor?
Yeah, it says it's different flavors, but it's all strawberry. Everything is strawberry.
Grape? No, that's just they added some blue. That's it.
Yeah, you're like, hooray, I got grape jam, but it's not grape
So they
jam.
strained out the seeds.
It's purple strawberry jam.
Jeremy, that's not what you told me was happening to you. So what were you experiencing while you were doing your gig work
Well,
this
it's.
year?
I think actually, Molly, you misunderstood. I do a lot of gag work.
I hate autocorrect.
Hang on.
16th floor.
Is that
This was going to be really cool when I started.
That was for you old people.
is that gag like Groucho glasses with a mustache or like what do we?
It's famed. It's Wanda gag.
Oh,
Yeah.
So what did you discover
No,
this year
okay.
as you were doing such things? What truth did you find that you need to share with us?
Everyone is gross. Everyone is disgusting, except, and this is one of the strangest things, hobos. I'm not trying to downgrade anyone who is experiencing homelessness or anything. I'm talking about actual riding the rails hobos.
Oh, with the clown makeup and the little bindle.
They have. Did you know
Like
that?
in the posters.
Did you know that on cross-country freight trains, they have a boxcar that is a full first-class section.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So those
first-class
children were-
hobos.
So those boxcar children were trust fund babies.
Absolutely.
This book makes way more sense
Uh-huh.
now. Yes.
Yeah, they don't carry their belongings like tied up in a scarf on a
that's-
stick.
It's called the bindle.
That's their signal to each other. That's how they are allowed in. They don't have smartphones to show QR codes to be let onto this. You have to show the bindle.
Hobo code is the original QR code.
Absolutely.
That's the little sigils.
QR code. QR
As in
codes.
R, as in
Our.
multiple. Yep.
Yep. Oh my God. I
There you
see
go.
it now.
It's-
All QR codes are going to assassinate John F. Kennedy Jr. when he comes back. To
I think that
we're gonna
deserves
kill him
some
again.
applause. That
Nice.
deserves.
Yep.
I clapped for myself.
Aww.
Boy,
Nick, you and I have more standard office jobs.
Yeah.
And I would say, we both work from home, which means we aren't really being exposed to, big office as often anymore. But you had to go into the office recently and you found something really disturbing.
Yeah. So I came back out to my car and it was parked in the exact same spot where I left it.
Whoa! What?
Now, some of you might be like, oh, big deal, but here's the thing, like, normally when I park my car, I come back and it's somewhere else.
Oh, yeah.
So that means it got moved twice.
Wow.
Like, at least twice. It got
An
moved
even number of
to somewhere
times.
else.
Obvious, yeah.
And then it could have been moved to a third location and then back to the original location. I'm not sure, but like, whoever did it parks exactly like I do, and they parked it like, I mark the tires with chalk every time I park the car, so I know, whether or not it got moved. And this time, the chalk was in the exact same spot as where I left it. So that means...
Attention to detail is important.
Do you do that thing where you leave the windshield wipers on and see if they're still on when you turn the car back on?
I do now.
Oh, wow. I thought I saw maybe a raised hand over here. Do you have a question?
No. Our question's like towards the end. Like what? Sorry.
Oh, because time is not linear.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why don't you ask your end question now, and we'll see if our answer changes.
The end is what we make it, friend. The end can be anytime.
Who moved your car? MJ12?
So,
Repeat the
the Majestic 12 moved my car, is that the question? The Majestic 12, like, honestly, that's one of those conspiracies that they throw out, like the Illuminati, to make you think the conspiracy is over
It's a
here.
decoy conspiracy.
When actually the conspiracy is over here. And I'm starting to think that maybe Majestic 13 is who moved my car. And they're just one more. And so that's
better.
That's even scarier.
Yeah,
That's-
when it's more, it's worse.
so much more
And 13
sinister.
is unlucky, so there you
Oh
go.
my God, Jeremy.
There you go.
And if you add 1 and 3, you get 4. Like, who's your car for? Like the car
Four
Ford?
wheels? Your car has
Four
four
wheels.
wheels?
Oh,
4 doors.
It has 4 doors. Oh my God.
It's 4 driving.
Yes.
All you have to do is peel it back like a little bit.
A lot of people
It's just
dismiss
astonishing.
numerology, but it makes a lot of sense.
It's like, the truth is
your
like,
mom's a math teacher, too.
She is. My mom
So you know that.
So she's in on it.
She teaches
She's part of the
numerals.
conspiracy.
the
She
truth,
teaches numerals
I
all the
didn't
time.
realize you'd been infected by math at such an early age.
I've been infected by math my whole life. I have to inoculate myself against it daily.
I don't want to catch math.
I took an anti-math shot this morning.
Okay, because I really work very hard to not think about addition.
It was filled with alphabet. I just
Well,
injected alphabet
Okay.
into my veins.
That's
well,
good.
addition is a
Ask me
lie.
what 2 plus 2 is.
What's 2 plus 2?
I don't know.
Wait. 4.
Oh!
We're back to it again.
Oh my God!
This is
I didn't even
disgusting,
mean to do
Timothy.
that.
Wow. Okay, so I will say, in case you've never been to this panel before, we are going to just talk until you ask us things. So if you have any questions, if you want to know anything at all, you let us know and we will tell you the truth. If you've joined us late, there are tinfoil sheets up here. Please make yourself a hat. You're not going to disturb the panel. Come on up and grab any piece of tinfoil you want. Take as many sheets as you
But
want.
not that one.
You people are here because you are wanting to be protected from
It's
them.
the 200 pre-cut sheets of aluminum foil. We're not gonna run out.
200, 2
Even-
plus 0 plus 0, okay.
And that is a challenge. He just challenged you.
Even the
Yeah,
doctor
that's
is taking tinfoil. I think that is something you have to pay
I see a
attention
question in
to.
the far back, yes, in the green.
You realize you're doing math right now?
Oh my
You
God!
sick bastard!
I think there's an important detail about math, and that's, Molly, you were talking about how you don't want to do addition, and that's because addition doesn't exist. Because we live in a universe that has entropy, you can't truly add things together because everything is crumbling
It's
before our
slowly
eyes.
incomplete.
Oh,
Yellow,
we're getting a yellow card. That means we have to step out for a bit.
Yes,
I'd like to change the subject and I'd like to hear the truth about birds, please.
the truth about birds.
Like,
Are they real?
Well, Sharon Steitler isn't here this year, so I guess not.
yeah, she takes all the birds with her. That's why all the birds are in Alaska,
They're in Alaska right now.
That's right.
Very
That's why you
common.
haven't seen any birds in the hotel. Have you seen any bird?
I'm seeing this going around, this whole idea that birds aren't real, and I understand, but the thing is, nothing is real.
Right.
That's what you have to understand. I know everyone, oh, we're living in a simulation. Wouldn't that be convenient? No, we're not living in a simulation. We are attempting to fabricate the simulation constantly, which means it's not working, honey, because I don't know how to code.
Yeah.
So like, this is like, everything is falling apart constantly, and if you want to know why it's our fault, it's your fault and mine. So everything you see that's broken, just go, oh my God, I can't code.
I've heard National Lampoon's European simulation.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
birds-
I didn't like that one as much as the Christmas simulation.
The Christmas simulation was better. Birds actually are real, or they were real, but they have devolved into fish.
Right.
So,
You
you
hate
hate fish.
yeah, I do hate fish.
Is it because they used to be birds?
It's because they used to be birds.
See, Nick has to hate fish because Nick hates birds.
Birds are just the worst.
It's true.
I really do hate birds.
I also really do hate fish.
Like, if you go outside, you hear bird song, and you might be like, oh, that's nice. And Nick's like, ugh. Like, every time. Like, someone's like, he's like, ugh.
This is absolutely true. We'll walk the dog and we'll hear bird song and we'll be like, fuck you.
You know, Nick's greatest regret in life is he did not register effing birds.
Well,
Yeah.
it's because birds caused my father's alcoholism. A lot of people don't know that, but it's true.
That's right.
It's
We're
true.
double barreling it.
It's
here with
amazing
the
how many
alcohol.
people know about your father's alcoholism,
Well-
and yet they don't know about the birds.
Pink card.
Any tips for defeating low vibrations from the fifth dimension?
Any tips for defeating the low vibrations that come from the fifth dimension? I mean, beyond the
I mean, there's
hats.
nothing
Yeah.
wrong with the fifth dimension.
Well, the
They were
fifth
a
dimension
fine
is
band.
but it's under us. That's the problem. It's
Yeah.
under us physically, so the hats don't work.
The problem isn't the fifth dimension itself, it's the vibrations that come from
Okay.
the fifth dimension. It's
Okay,
like
so-
it's like a microwave isn't
Well, here's
harmful,
a-
but like don't put your hand in there when it's running, you know? Like
So the first question that really needs to be asked is the moon in the seventh house?
oh sure.
If it is,
Has
then Jupiter aligned with Mars.
Yeah.
Well, at
Well,
first,
he's not on the
Jupiter and Mars don't matter until we know where the moon is. So,
I am the only person up here that's too young to know all the lyrics to that song.
And you're in your 40s.
And I'm in my 40s.
But you are the only one on this panel who has gone to actually seen the Indigo Girls in concert, so Galileo.
That's true.
I rest my case.
So here's my question
That is
actually
true.
wait,
about the fifth
what
dimension.
concert did I go to then?
Oh, you weren't there.
That was the Teal Girls.
So the question
They did
about
look different.
Yeah.
the question about the vibrations coming from the fifth dimension, I think, is important because,
Yeah.
as we mentioned, they come from below us, so the hats don't work. I guess I'm wondering, how tightly do you think I could roll a tinfoil sheet into a tube
Well, you
for
know,
insertion?
Weed is legal now, Molly. You don't have to.
do you not have?
Well, it will be next month.
I mean, everybody can insert a tube. It doesn't matter what you came with. I mean, like, we can
I don't
all
think
insert
I-
a tube
Some of
from below.
us are late bloomers.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think I could come with that personally, but
All right. Well, I'm sorry.
that's why
I'm doing our
I
best
have
to figure it out.
tinfoil insoles, right? You do not have your tinfoil insoles.
That's so much more comfortable.
Like it's antimicrobial.
I was just realizing how sharp it would be.
You know, like literally, that's why you use it for food and stuff. Things can't grow on tinfoil.
Either too.
It keeps the waves from reaching you from below, which is great.
And if you put tinfoil in your shoes are recyclable.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Great. That's pretty great. Yes, back there. Yes, you.
So I understand the protective nature of like tin foil and aluminum foil.
I mean, you think you understand, but yes, go on.
They said you understand the
I
protective nature of
understand
foil.
It is protective. That's all I really need to know. But would a solid block of tin and a solid block of aluminum have the same effect?
Sure.
Would a solid block of tin and a solid block of aluminum have the same protective qualities as aluminum foil?
Would they be the same size?
Is this
Just
like
for
is this a pound of
for the
feathers, pound of
experiment.
tires?
Exactly. We're gonna drop it from what do you call that thing? The
Molly-
Leaning Tower Pizza.
Molly,
See
how
what
would you
drops
have a
first.
pound of tires? Why did you say tires of all the things? A thing that weighs more than 1 pound?
You're probably tired.
They could be Lego tires.
Yes.
Like, right? Like, how big?
The Lego Corporation is the largest manufacturer of tires on the planet.
That's not even a lie. That's absolutely true. You know, Blue Cards had their hand up for a while.
We didn't answer the question. What do we think
Oh,
about
sorry.
the block of aluminum and the block of tin?
So, you know, aluminum is really where the defensive properties come from, not as much the tin. But aluminum, you know, it's all about portability, right? Like, are you gonna make a suit full of, like, blocks of aluminum? It would be very expensive, it's hard to work with. It's not a very bendy metal, it's very brittle, you know, but it's strong, so it's just not very cost effective either. Would it work? Yeah, sure, but, you know, I mean, why?
I mean, I think
In this economy?
Yeah.
aluminum is more powerful, I believe, just because you can't just go to a hardware store and buy aluminum snips, but you can get tin snips.
Right.
It's true.
I mean,
And they can only snip tin.
That's right.
That's the thing. They want you to think you can snip other things, but one time I tried to use them to snip copper wire, and I opened a rift into another dimension, and demons poured out. Right out.
Fortunately, they were very, very small demons,
Yeah.
and she was just able to step
They
on
look just like ants.
Yes.
It was like they were just suddenly ants. And I'm
Demonic
like,
ants.
no, that's not me.
I did
You'll
the
see-
same, but I learned that I would not make a good moil.
You'll see similar properties. You'll see similar properties with any non-ferrous or non-magnetic metal. Just about any of them have similar properties to varying degrees of efficacy. But and that's because magnets all have two demons in them, and one is a north demon and one is a south demon.
That makes
and
sense.
and they want to pull the metal away from you so that you can be affected by the waves from the fifth dimension, as
You
was
said
previously.
someone had their hand up for a while.
It was the blue
Yes,
card.
blue
The
card.
blue card, okay, I've watched a lot of soccer, but I understood the yellow card.
You
but the
have?
pink and the, yes.
Not just Ted Lasso, but
I'm
actual
a-
soccer.
Yeah, I live in St. Paul, please.
Oh, right, there's
We've got
nothing
a whole
else.
toilet
There's
bowl
nothing
stadium.
else to do. Yes.
Okay, about the birds, like, do you think the directors of the Birdemic were in on it, as long as, and the Crow from, like, that Nirvana music video?
Oh, were the directors of Birdemic in on it, along with the Crow and the Nirvana music video?
Well, it all goes back to Alfred Hitchcock, really.
The original liar.
Who was in fact a bird.
Everything in that movie is
Well,
one thing, and then it's the
Okay, I should clarify. He was a bird. He evolved into a fish.
He looks like a penguin, so
You
it makes sense.
can clearly tell in the
Belly
silhouette in Alfred Hitchcock Presents. If you turn it sideways, you can see that it's actually a fish head and a fin. And so, you know, Alfred Hitchcock, being a fish, former bird, is put out this movie, The Birds, to try to get people to be scared of birds, so that they would turn a blind eye to the bird's evolution into fish, so they could stealth that into culture.
Yeah, it's a little known fact that Birdemic is actually directed by the evolved Alfred Hitchcock, and that's why it's,
Alfred Fishcock.
That's why it's basically a shot-for-shot remake of Rear Window.
Right.
Okay, but Alfred Fishcock would be an amazing mashup costume. I don't know how, but I'm just Alfred Hitchcock, but also you have fish makeup, like you've got that you've got that Innsmouth look.
Yeah.
Actually, with the gills. and
That is a name that's getting filed away forever, like Guillermo del Porno. Yeah.
And when Sharon finally does evolve into Fish Chick, which she eventually will eventually show pictures of fishcocks on her social media page. Whoa! Excuse me, who found out about the duck wiener? It's a corkscrew.
He's not on
and
this.
it continues to go around and
Al
around
Gore?
and around.
He's not on this panel.
But on this internet, oh my god.
Yes, the question here, yes.
Oh, you mentioned the Leaning Tower of Pisa. There's a scale replica in Illinois of that very
Yes.
tower. Is there a deep meaning behind that?
Well, it's actually the Leaning Tower of Pizza. Just keep that in mind, because it looks like marble, but it is made of food.
And it is just down on 24th, so you can go, you can actually just order pizza directly from there, so you don't even have to worry
They
about
just
Illinois.
they slice you off a piece, like when you get a euro. Like they just slice you off a piece of the tower. A pizza the tower. You see it now? Like, yeah, it all...
That's the one that's, it's connected by the cheesy breadstick tunnel, right, from end to end. Like the large one and the small one, it's actually a descending cone. They get smaller and smaller and smaller as it goes to the other end, made out of cheesy, garlicky bread that's hollow in the middle that you can actually walk down. But it's not safe to do so anymore because it's been gnawed away so much because of its deliciousness. It's kept really toasty and fresh from the heat of the center of the earth, which is it's amazing. If you haven't had it, I highly recommend it. The tunnels are unsafe though.
I've been to the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and it's a little known fact that due to strange gravitational effects in the area, the tower itself is not leaning. Everybody else is. The tower is standing straight.
That's actually what causes the Earth's axial tilt, is the world is tilted on its side because of the tower's gravitational pull, and that is what causes the seasons.
I mean, we know all that. We're not children, Nick. We know all this.
Okay, so
I don't know.
You're insulting the audience. They all know this.
We're gonna go yellow, blue, green. So just keep that order in your mind so you don't have to keep raising it. But yellow first. Yes, yellow.
I thought the center of the earth was filled with jam.
Oh, right. How is it being heated, Nick, if the center of the earth is filled with jam?
The jam
Nick?
is hot.
It's superheated, jam.
Checkmate, liberals.
There we go. Okay, all right. And then we had, right, there was, I don't remember the color. Was it blue or green? Yes. Oh,
Oh, the
shit.
baseball
They turned their
conspiracy.
hat around just like Roadhouse.
Ash Ketchum style. Now we're all in danger of being put into a ball.
So we discussed the defensive properties of tinfoil, but what about the offensive properties? Is it either singular or comparable or not? For example, could we tinfoil wrap a power loader and use it?
It's yellow, so no.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely use any form of aluminum or tin as, you know, it has offensive properties, right? I think it's, there you go. I think
That's the wrestling in it.
the most offensive thing I've ever seen done with tinfoil was someone cut out words and they spelled inappropriate things. And that was probably the most offensive
One
thing.
of them said democracy.
But also, I mean, Tim, didn't you get stabbed with an aluminum knife once?
I did get stabbed with an aluminum knife once. It was very disturbing because it appeared the knife penetrated my body, but it actually didn't. And it was done. It was in slow motion. Somebody was like stabbing the tinfoil knife into my body, and I was like, "No!" And they were like this, and then I felt fine. It was nothing.
The slow knife penetrates the shield and then into the tin.
Then into
But not, I guess.
But not. I was actually completely fine, and I woke up later. And I was not in the same place that I'd been when I was stabbed with the tinfoil knife.
You know, just like my car.
Yeah. It was the same thing. It's like I was stabbed with a tinfoil knife. I went home, I went to bed, and I woke up somewhere else than I had been when I was stabbed with the tinfoil knife.
Isn't it strange that Tim sounds a lot like tin?
I've thought that for many years myself.
Tim, did you wake up in an office parking lot in Eden Prairie, like at Flying Cloud Drive? Because that's where my car was.
I think I did.
Thoughts and prayers.
I think I did. It was, I mean, it seemed like my bed in my house, but my cat...
That's Eden Prairie for you.
But my cat...
St. Paul and Eden Prairie are basically indistinguishable.
And my cat wasn't there, and cats are very attuned.
I don't know who that statement is more offensive to, people that live in St. Paul or people that live in Eden Prairie.
Well, it's quantity, I think, is the important part, but we don't have a naf grill where they do
That
it
is
in Eden Prairie.
delicious,
So
yeah. And then we had green here, yes.
I was going to ask about the hollow earth, but someone beat me to that one.
It's not hollow. There's jam. Pay attention.
It's okay, like
Their brain is jammed.
help me with.
Yes.
They switched to digital television signals so people would have less excuse or reason to buy protective aluminum foil.
Did they switch to a digital television signal so people would have less of a reason to buy protective foil?
A lot of people misunderstand the digital conversion. They don't mean digital like a clock or a computer. They mean like literal, like your fingers, digital TV. They're all assembled by hand instead of by robots, because the robots have an agenda to create our television and influence our programming.
Small Wonder, my favorite robot, which is probably a show. C-3PO, y'all fucking love him, right? Like,
He had cereal.
So, and that's why you, I mean, the fight right now is like, are you pushing a button on a remote control digitally, or are you using some kind of a voice command thing to change the channel? And that's the fight, you know, man. That's where the fight is happening, like right now.
I think it was also part of the main factor was that, you know, Big TV was sick of 12-year-old boys just kind of giggling when they said analog. And then mispronounced that very easily.
I think you need to remember that while using the voice commands on your digital TV is very convenient, that voice command is being captured. It's being captured, and they're using it to dub anime. So if you're ever watching anime and you're like, that voice sounds a lot like me, it is.
that's why I recently watched an anime it was Tim's voice, and it was just called Bridgerton. Comcast remote, Bridgerton. Bridgerton. Comcast, Bridgerton. Play Bridgerton. Comcast, Bridgerton sex scenes, Bridgerton. It was a really good anime though. Like it was isekai. It was isekai. I love that.
I think that was the weirdest episode of One Piece I've ever seen.
There's that Blue, yes, Blue, more questions.
Okay, question. You seem to have a knowledge of like Alfred Hitchcock. Was he like hot?
Fishcock.
Fishcock, please.
Fishcock.
Was he hot bunking with Stanley Kubrick?
Who was he? Was Alfred Fishcock hot bunking with Stanley Kubrick?
Is that code? Is that young person code for boinky boinky or?
I think it means they're roommates, Jeremy.
Oh, like my aunts.
They're roommates, but they don't have air conditioning. That's why.
Like my aunts.
Yeah, you know, boy, there's so much about Kubrick and you know, myths and conspiracies, and ultimately he's just a guy who likes to make boring stuff. And I mean, you know, it's good boring stuff, but it's just like, really just stretch it out as long as he a lot of people don't know this, he started as a taffy maker. And that's why all his scenes are so drawn out and stretched out, and they're so slow and chewy, and they pull out your fillings.
What was that documentary he made? Oh yeah, Eyes Wide Shut. That one was all right, but I guess I didn't really. I was wondering when we were going to get to the fireworks factory. I felt like the whole time we were just watching nothing happen, and I mean that's what most documentaries are, really, is watching nothing happen. But you know, I thought that it was really interesting that the masks used in Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut were actually tinfoil lined because they wanted to make sure that nobody could leave the premises. They actually, you know, as you know, metal conducts electricity, and everybody in that movie was held captive. So if they tried to leave, you know how like when you take a cart from Target and the wheels lock up? It was like that. Their legs would just stop moving, and that's part of why the movie took so long, when you watched it.
It's actually a little known fact, and I don't even know if I should be revealing this, but this entire panel is actually a Stanley Kubrick film. So
that explains a lot.
The person holding up a clear,
yes,
a clear sign back there. Yes,
Is it safe to eat chicken if I'm a pescatarian?
Is it safe to eat chicken if they're
anyone of any religion can eat chicken.
I guess I would say, how long have you waited? If the chicken's been in the refrigerator for at least 3 weeks, it's probably a fish now. It'll smell bad, like a fish. So I think you're safe to go for it. Yeah, definitely do that. Definitely do that.
I think yellow?
Yeah.
Yep.
You talked about the big jam earlier, but when will you address the small jam? I'm talking microscopic.
Oh,
microscopic jam.
Yeah, micro jam. Well, you've heard of like microplastics getting into our water supply and causing problems and affecting like, I mean, you know, Alex Jones says that's what's turning the frogs gay, and he's almost right, but he's very, very wrong. It's actually the microjam in the water supply from the runoff from the Earth's core. The runoff goes up. It's physics. But yeah, that is led to like a sexual revolution among the frogs, and it's actually one of the good things that jam has given us.
I saw a frog burning its bra the other day, and it was really liberating.
Yeah.
Orange card.
So you talked about the axis, leading tower pizza, making the axis in the seasons. What if the Earth is rotating, then why is my front door always facing east?
Well, that's not the axis.
If the Earth is rotating.
That's not the axis, that's the allies.
I didn't realize we had people here who thought that the Earth still rotated. It stopped in the 70s, I think.
Yeah.
I didn't want to embarrass them.
That was Nixon, right? Nixon?
Nixon stopped the Earth from
He
rotating.
stopped the Earth from rotating.
Yeah, it was something. He felt like the rotation of the Earth was an enemy.
Yeah, it's actually something that's on the missing 18 minutes.
What did you? No, no, pink card for sure.
So I don't want to bring up the whole, like our lizard folk, hot-blooded.
Well, then don't.
Somebody I know who always turns to service that way up. Should I be concerned about lizard folk?
Like terrarium levels, we're talking.
Yeah,
Like you walk in, you're like, this is not for humans. Yeah. How often do they lick their eyeballs?
I spend a lot of time with them, but like I'm often facing the other way.
Oh, sure. So they can be surreptitiously licking their eyeballs.
Well, it could protect them from licking your eyeballs.
Yeah. That never happens though. My eyeballs.
Well, your head is turned the other way. How could it?
Have you noticed that your friend who believes they might be a lizard person, or do they often wear shirts of different colors as though maybe they recently touched something and changed color? Oh my God, I think that's a lizard. That's a lizard.
If your friend is turning the same color as themselves, then they definitely have chameleon blood.
Oh no. Am I the same color as myself?
I think the really important thing when you're asking yourself...
You're making me do math.
If you're asking yourself if somebody is a lizard person, if you are wondering, then literally anything they do is evidence they're a lizard person. So that can help you with figuring that out.
That's just science. How about front yellow?
So we all know that for jam that has been labeled as raspberry, the so-called seeds are,
Excuse me, I'm sorry. It's raspberry. There's no such thing. There is no such thing as silent letters.
It's the seeds that are popping in there. It's actually row. And oh sorry.
Those are actually mind control modules, and my question is exactly how many do you need to consume before it forces you to move your protective aluminum foil hat onto the side of your head in antenna configuration?
So how many, the question is how many raspberry seeds, which are actually microcontrolling modules, does one need to consume before you should move your aluminum hat from the front to the side because of those things?
Were you here at the beginning of the panel? Were you here at the beginning? Because I think we've established the answer to every mathematical question is 4. Stop wasting these people's time.
Maybe you need more tinfoil. It just feels like maybe I don't see any on your head. I feel like maybe they're getting to you to make you ask such questions.
That's a very linear question.
Gotcha.
But back yellow, and that doesn't mean anything rude either. I'm saying front yellow, back yellow. Yeah.
No, but front
Just
yellow
trying
is
to say.
front yellow is how Jeremy puts on his underwear every morning.
Well, on day 1, yes, but then you.
Oh.
Favorite records to listen to backwards to receive secret messages.
Oh, my criminal record. Because if you read your criminal record backwards, innocent. You get out of everything. It clears your record. All of a sudden, you can get all the jobs. You get secret clearance and all that jazz. It's pretty great.
Speak Now Taylor's version came out today, and I'm going to pick it up later, and I'm going to try it out because I really want to learn about good relationships.
I think if you play Taylor Swift backwards, it's just like an advertisement for Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop brand.
This is obvious. I don't know why you had to ask the question. It's clearly Fleetwood Mac's Rumors.
I listen to Dreg's albums backwards. They sound better.
That is 100% true.
Like they come out on vinyl. Can you imagine the expense? We're pressing our albums into wax.
And then we sell them at the Renaissance Festival. It's like, here you go, have a record album that's covered in dirt.
Yes, orange front. See, it sounds silly.
That's how you put on your underwear.
Yeah.
Going back to jam and the rotation of the Earth, I don't think big jam would allow the Earth to stop rotating. Because if the center was hot, that's the way you make jam. You've got to keep stirring.
Oh, that's true. You do have to keep stirring.
Well,
you know what? That makes sense. I changed my mind because I can do that.
I thought that's what the oars were for. The oars in the water go down deep enough to stir the.
Oh, I think it's like iron ore.
No, but those two. I mean, what do you think the oars are made out of? That's why they're called
iron ore. Oh my God! I learned something new every year on this panel.
Yeah, if you're canoeing, you're actually
stirring jam.
You're doing Big Jam's dirty work.
Way in the back, pink.
So speaking of rumors, there's been scuttlebutts around the convention, and I was wondering if Tim Wick would use this opportunity to publicly address his rumored involvement with the recent OceanGate submersible.
Tim, will you address this involvement with the OceanGate submersible?
As a member of the board, I think it's really important that you clear the air.
Sure. I think, it's really
He's
important.
speaking officially now. He's an official member of the CONvergence Board of Directors.
Speaking as an official board member of the CONvergence Board of Directors, what we've really been trying to do with CONvergence, what we want to do every year is make sure that CONvergence is an exciting and new experience. So we talked about what if we got the Titanic at the convention. We'd have to, but the only room it would fit in is main stage, so we'd have to cancel everything on main stage to put the Titanic in that room. And basically, when we were halfway down to seeing if, when our exploratory team was halfway down to seeing if that was a good idea, we realized that, well, we couldn't cancel SmackDown, so we just blew it up.
It's interesting, Tim. It's interesting because what I remember you saying to me was, I'm going to send these billionaires to the bottom of the ocean because it's going to be so funny for Ville.
Yeah, that was a smoke screen. I couldn't ask
okay.
for no reason.
Well, it's going to be funny for Ville.
As a former CONvergence board member and current just regular member of the public here,
You're certainly a member, Jeremy.
Yeah, there you go. I really appreciate spending $250,000 on that. I think it has made the convention better. And
well, we were really trying to cut the budget this year. That's one way we did it.
Did a great job.
Yeah.
Next time.
Blue back there.
Next time, get the billionaires to leave CONvergence in their will, and then send them down.
Yeah, you're not the first person to have brought that up.
There's a charity in their wills. Yes.
My jam question. So now that we have determined the dangers of big jam and little jam, are there any organizations, known or unknown, that are trying to fight?
Well, medium-sized jam, of course.
Knott's Berry Farm. Yeah, don't go there. People are like, oh, we should boycott the Harry Potter world. I mean, sure, but like Knott's Berry Farm is doing damage to everyone in ways that we don't even see because they're jamming it into us. Like they're jamming our signals. They're having jams. There's jam bands.
They're jamming up your digestive tract.
There's improv jams. There's even a jam here. There's a music jam at night at CONvergence.
It's not a drum jam.
I think drum jams.
Any kind of jam. You can do whatever you want at this jam. It's a jam for all.
It's insidious.
And that's why one of the biggest and most well-known jam bands is Fish. And that band used to be back in the 70s, the Yardbirds.
Yeah,
and how many good songs do they have? 4.
It's actually just one song that's as long as 4 songs, but yeah.
Yes, in the green here.
Inevitably, with the Titanic excursion, for any pescatarians in the room, very soon they're going to be eating the rich. And I think it's important for us to figure out what's the best ways to eat said rich.
Ooh.
Let the fish do it.
Well, yeah, do not put jam on the rich, because
Do pescatarians eat orcas? I would think not.
No.
I feel like orcas are going to be very rich and billionaires.
So, boy, the best way to cook the rich, I mean, I think like
Involuntarily.
sous vide is like a great start for sure. You know, you want like the fat dripping off and soaking in the meat for sure, and then you want to braise it. You know, definitely fire helps. I mean, and fire is really good on the rich when they're alive too. And like eating, not eating, I highly recommend fire on the rich. Just in general, it's a pretty good. It gets a lot done.
it adds a lot of smoky flavor.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah.
Would you recommend using tinfoil in the preparation?
I mean, if you chop them up small and wrap them in foil like potatoes, they can make a little
Yeah.
steam pack.
Sure.
Out
It
of it.
depends, yeah,
Throw some butter in there.
it depends on how much you care about cleaning the bottom of your oven.
Don't line your ovens with tinfoil. I don't know why.
Or billionaires.
That's fair. Yes, orange in the front.
Yes, Nick, earlier you gave us an update on the north and south demons doing their thing with magnets.
Yeah.
Is there anything we should be aware of about east and west demons? Are they up to anything with magnets?
North and south
well,
demons
I
are
know-
the magnets.
I
Should be
know-
aware of east and west demons.
East demons have been extinct for a long time. I haven't seen any west demons in like, I don't know, 20 years or something, but they might still be around. Molly, are you related to a west demon?
So most of my demons come from the south, but my mother did marry into a west demon, unfortunately, and so there was a really brief period of time where all the magnets in our house just sort of stuck straight forward. They didn't adhere to anything. They just sort of hovered in the air in that weird superposition that everyone knows about. I mean, you've seen it. Cats do it.
Right.
And so that was a little bit strange, but I think that a lot of the west demons left after Biggie died.
Yeah.
That was a big turning point.
A biggie turning point.
Biggie turning
Proper
point.
terminology.
Yeah.
Yellow.
What about the moon landing?
What about it?
What moon landing?
Which one?
Which moon?
Yeah, which, I mean...
You mean when the moon landed on the Earth?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was,
That was great.
it was fun for a while because you got, there's not a lot of craters around here.
I got so much reading done at night.
Yeah, that's true.
It was just so bright.
My favorite part was that is what they used as the inspiration for the film The Day the Earth Stood Still, is the moon landing on the Earth, and then the Klaatu Verada Nikto and all that. That's based on a true story about the Earth coming to the moon. It didn't. Moon landing is kind of a misnomer. The Earth technically landed on the moon.
Plymouth Rock landed on us.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, the same thing. That's actually why the lunar lander, it looks disturbingly like Gort.
Yep.
Green in the back.
How do you address the recent allegations that you believe in the moon?
How do we address these recent allegations that we all believe in the moon?
I say, hello, recent allegations that I...
Ask the allegations for their pronouns. That's just polite. No, I believe in the moon because I believe everything I can see. It's actually a problem for me because if anyone shows me anything, I just believe it. Which is why I believe Batman is real and everything else I've ever seen. But I'm doing really good work to try to make sure I can learn the truth about things like the moon. So I throw rocks at it every night to see if one will hit it. And one will one day, and then I'll know if it's real or not. But so far, no dice.
No dice have hit the moon.
No, you're throwing rocks.
I'm throwing rocks, not dice.
Oh, okay.
No, dice wouldn't go far enough to hit the moon.
I believe in the moon because Stanley Kubrick believes in the moon.
I come from a long line of people that believe in the moon, and I think it's more kind of like a family tradition for me. Like, it's not religious, but it is cultural.
Yeah.
Pink here.
I was just curious if you have any concerns about the efficacy of the British knockoff aluminium foil?
Do we have any concerns about the efficacy of the British knockoff aluminium foil?
Well, it's slightly thicker, so it provides slightly more protection, but
it's also more pompous.
It's true. Yeah, always adding U's after O's and all this bullshit. Bullshit, pardon
One
me.
problem with it is that they actually, if you do use aluminium, they can see your thoughts because it has an extra eye in it.
We've had this red one up for quite some time.
That's pink,
Yeah.
Tim.
But I don't know, it's a conspiracy.
Are you colorblind a little?
I am a lot colorblind.
All right, well, good to know.
Guess we're learning more about Tim, unfortunately.
Yes.
So when I first put my hand up, it was to point out that Tim's aluminum accessory looked a lot like a bird. But his since
That's why I crushed it and pushed it away.
So I think that's a good, I feel like he's a witch.
I think he was able to read your question from your mind, and that is the reason that you guys just vibed on that.
Yeah.
Tim, you're married to a witch though, right?
Yes.
Because they said they thought you were a witch because of it, and is the pointy hats thing? Is that something you picked up? Like, is that a part of your vows?
Well, he converted.
Well, couples all to come to
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I had to in order to get married in her church.
Understandable.
The church is made out of twigs.
We have time for just a few more questions, so if you have one, raise them up, and we'll get
How about middle yellow here on the
middle
aisle?
yellow on the end. Yes.
I was wondering if you had any suggestions for how to best serve our cat overlords.
Our cat
How
overlords.
best serve the cat overlords.
Mine just wants to have people listen to him scream. That appears to be all he wants. He doesn't want food or attention. He just wants us to hear him screaming at 3 in the morning, and he screams.
I don't even think he wants us to hear it. He wants him to hear it. He's
He wants to
screaming
be
for
heard.
himself.
Yeah.
You know, in my experience, cats want you to take your head off their goddamn pillow.
For about 15 years, I've had to purchase really expensive prescription food for my cat, and the vet says that it's because of urinary crystals, but I think it's just he likes that food better, and he wants me to pay more for this gourmet shit.
The cat?
The cat.
Yeah. So he and the vet are in on it?
Of course.
Yeah, that makes sense. They always take your cat back. They're like, we're just going to take them back to look into this. We're going to do some tests. It's better for you
They're
not to be
talking about
here.
you.
That's when they talk to the cat. Then they're like, well, I'm going to get that expensive food. Yeah.
Ugh, disgusting. Blue.
Can you speak on the, where all the glitter is going?
Where's all the glitter going?
Kesha concerts. Yeah, yellow in the back there.
How will you address these recent allegations that you believe in Stanley Kubrick?
The recent allegations that you believe in Stanley. Yellow in the front.
How many Paul McCartneys are we up to now?
I think you know the answer to that question. It's 4.
Thank you. There are some people back here who are really enlightened. I just want to point it out. They are all right there with us. Wonderful. Any other? Yes, there's one.
It's been a long season. How do you feel about your chances this hurricane season?
Oh, how do we feel about our chances this hurricane?
The Carolina Hurricanes, I think, are going to be doing really well this season. Wait, that's
You have a chance to beat Florida this year.
well, of course.
Last year I lost a lot of money on some bets, but this year I'm betting on the Hurricanes.
And with DeSantis playing goalie, I don't think it's going to work.
No. Yeah, that infrastructure is gone.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the Disney Islands, the Disney Island chains that'll be there, where the rest of the state is gone.
I like hurricanes because they come in a big glass with a straw.
Oh,
yeah. It's like a fishbowl. Anyone else? All right, closing remarks, gentlemen.
There's one.
Oh, yes!
Just under the wire!
Jesus, Jeremy.
Can the panel comment on Noah Webster removing the extra vowels from letters because they run from words because you thought Americans couldn't spell them?
Noah Webster removing the extra letters from our American words because he thought that Americans couldn't spell them, which is why we spell favorite right.
That was a part of the Red Scare. Those letters are communists.
You know, they wanted to take the U out of communism, so they wanted to make sure.
And so they went through a whole bunch of words, like red is, the color of communism, and so for color, they took out a letter.
U.
Color.
They wanted U out
They wanted you out of, collective bargaining and all those things that protect the labor force. And so it's all just a part of the Red Scare threat.
I'm just glad that we still have velour and not valor. That would be
I don't have any valor.
Stolen velour.
All right, final thoughts, Jeremy, final thoughts.
You people are sick for continuing to come to this. I really hoped that you would learn a little more by now, but I guess probably next year we'll have to come back for the 11th time in 13 years. Or is that going to be 14 years?
I don't know. Things got weird for a couple of years.
We've been doing it for 2 years.
I don't remember. Is that
we missed 1 year.
Yeah, actually next year.
Sorry, we did it online now.
Next year is going to be our 4th time.
I think that's something that's really important for the community here, because this is, we talk about you don't have a ticket, you have a membership, right? Like it's important, and because we are all joined together in this membership, we want to make sure that we understand that we have to watch out for each other. So if you see somebody who doesn't seem to know the truth, just make sure that they know, and the best way to do that is to just look at them really intensely, open your eyes as wide as you can and just kind of stare at them. And when they're like, what are you even doing? Like, what are you doing? Just look even more intensely and then start nodding. This is a good way to do it. And then if they're like, what are you doing? Be like, that's right.
Like I do women at the gym, which is why I'm so successful. Yeah.
No. Just make sure it's only somebody you know, because if you don't know them, then you're creepy like Jeremy. So,
listen, not that creepy.
No one's creepy quite like Jeremy.
And when you join your members, you have to get consent.
Yes, that's also very important.
I liked it better when CONvergence said dick ships, personally, but memberships are fine too.
Tim?
All right, I think the thing that we really need to remember is how little we've talked about jam over this last hour.
You think we've
that was intentional.
He was just
that was intentional. So the next time you think about going to a music jam, go to a music jelly instead.
Yes.
And the next time you think about going to a drum jam, just don't.
Remember, you can see through jelly, which means you can see all of its motivations.
I can assure you I've never thought about going to a music or drum jam.
I think one thing we didn't touch on that I want to leave you all with is, whether we're talking about jam or jelly, I think that, pectin is not to blame for any of the harm that jam has caused, and pectin is good and fine, and that in itself, not a harmful thing. So I just hope that no one walks away from this panel with a big hatred in their heart for the chemical pectin.
Well, especially because so many people here obviously have a close personal relationship with pectin, as many of us do, maybe some of us on this panel. I don't want anyone to feel less than.
Right. Yeah. So, just save your hate for big jam and not for little pectin.
Excellent. Again, foil. Please take as much as you want with you. I don't want to take it home. I will be putting it in the recycling. So please just take it.
And please remember, do not applaud for the end of the panel.
No. Applaud it.